asleep again.
Hey beauties, and welcome back. I'm back at it again with another Halloween tutorial, and there will be some more to come, so be sure to hit that subscribe button now and share with any friends that are looking for some Halloween ideas. Today's look is my own feminine yet sexy and scary twist on the ultimate horror icon, Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street. This classic slasher film from 1984 is known by many as one of the scariest movies of all time. So a short background on Freddy: if you don't know who he is, he haunts the nightmares of the teenagers that live on Elm Street. And during this movie, the main character Nancy struggles in finding the boundaries between her nightmares and reality. And here in these clips are some of the most iconic scenes from Nightmare on Elm Street that happen to be my absolute favorites. So we know Freddy is the ultimate nightmare, and to be honest, they don't make horror movie villains quite like him anymore. But today I'm going to show you my own take on what I call Glam Freddy. So if you would like to get my Glam Freddy look, then please continue on watching. So to start this look out, prime that skin with something that's going to hydrate you underneath your foundation all day. And here I'm using the Tarte Flawless Primer, and it does exactly that. It's also one of my favorite primers. And for foundation today, I'm using something full coverage and matte, and this is the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation. This is something I would want to wear to a Halloween party because it has super long wear, and for those of you who are oily or combo skin, this will keep you super matte all day or all night. For concealer, use your favorite. Today I'm using my favorite, and this is the Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm just doing a little highlighting under the eyes and blending out using a brush. It's always really important to also set under your eyes to prevent any creasing, so I always set with a translucent powder just to be sure nothing moves, and throughout the day this will keep everything put. I also like to take a little bit more of that translucent powder, and I like to apply this to my whole entire face, and this will also set your face as well. For brows, I'm going to fill them in using a pencil, and I'm using the Benefit Cosmetics Precisely My Brow Pencil in shade 4, which is the perfect color match for my brows. I'm filling them in towards the tail end and then using the spoolie to blend the product through my brow hairs, and then I like to take the pencil to create hair-like strokes at the front of the brow, but I do not brush the front with a spoolie. I just use it for the tail end, just for a little bit more blending. This pencil is so perfect for a really natural yet defined brow look, which is what I'm going for today. I like to go in with some concealer just to clean up the brows because sometimes when combing with the spoolie, the brow product can get onto the skin, so concealer really helps clean that up. And lastly, I'm using a clear brow gel just to hold the hairs in place, and I'm going for a naturally bushy brow look today, so I'm combing the hairs straight up and feathering them out. The first thing you're going to want to do for your eyes is prime, and here I'm using MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. For our transition color, we're using a coral today from the Morphe 35B palette, and I'm just going to dust this right into the crease area. Next, I'm going to take a darker red from the 35B, and I'm dusting this into my crease, but taking it a bit lower into the crease just to deepen everything up and darken it up a little bit further. And now I'm taking that same dark red shade, and I'm going to be smoking out the lower lash line and bringing this upwards using a smaller brush. So now we're going to deepen the lid color using the ColourPop Gel Liner in Besto Liner. This is a burgundy color, and I'm just going to place this onto the lid and go right over the top with the same dark red we were using before, and this will definitely darken up the eye look a lot further. Using a fluffy brush, I'm just going to blend that color upwards into the crease area. To highlight the brow bone, I'm using a white shade on a small brush. This is also from the Morphe 35B palette, and I'm going right up against my brow bone, and this will lift the eyes up tremendously, and this will also soften the entire eye look. For liner, I'm using a black liner, and I'm lining my waterline and all around my eye, including the top lash line, and then I'm using a small pencil brush from Sigma, and I'm going to blend that all out until it's very smoky. This is one of my favorite ways to do liner because it gives the eyes some mystery, which I love rather than using a harsh winged liner. And now I'm just taking the RCMA No Color Powder to sharpen that eyeshadow and prevent any fallout. I'm going to leave this right here until we are almost done with the entire eye look, and then I'll dust it away, and this will just sharpen everything up. And now apply some mascara to your top and bottom lashes, and for false lashes today I'm using one of my favorites, and these are the Flutter Lashes in Intoxicating. And lastly, I'm just going to dust away that powder, and as you can see, it really sharpened everything up and made it look really flawless. And here is the final eye look. So moving back to the face, we're going to be warming up our skin with some bronzer today, and I'm using the Beach Bunny Bronzer by Too Faced. This is not a matte bronzer, it actually has some shimmer in it, and I'm just going to use this to warm up the skin and add some life back into my face. I really wanted a sharp look today, so I'm taking the RCMA No Color Powder again, and I'm going to apply this right underneath the bronzer. I'm just going to let this sit here while I finish some more of the face makeup, and when we are almost done, I'll dust it away and it will just sharpen everything up and make it look really put together. This is just like what we did with the eyes. For highlight, I'm using something golden and warm, and this is the Ofra Cosmetics Rodeo Drive Highlighter. This is one of my favorites right now, and I'm just going to highlight my cheekbones as well as my nose. And when I highlight my nose, I always like to use a small brush for really precise application, and this will actually make your nose look a lot smaller rather than just dusting it across. For blush, I'm using a really nude pink shade by Ofra, and this is from their blush palette. I'm just going to dust this onto the backs of the apples of my cheeks, just for a little hint of pink. For lips, I wanted to do a green lip, but I decided to change this color, which you will see later. And here I am using the Ofra Cosmetics Liquid Lip in Hawaii Tropical with NYX Cosmetics Glitter right over the top. So moving on to the fun part, we are going to be using gelatin today, and you can purchase these gelatin cubes on Amazon or make it yourself at home. So the first thing you want to do is heat up that gelatin in a cup, and while it's cooling I went in with an orange alcohol activated paint and I stippled this onto my neck using a cut up sponge, and this will be the base color for the burn. You could also use a coral lipstick. And now I'm going to apply the cooled gelatin to my neck area, and if you're going with Glam Freddy, only apply this to half your neck and half your face. And now as the gelatin starts to set, you can lightly start tapping it, and you will see how sticky and tacky it gets, and this is when it really starts looking like a real burn, which is what we want. So after it's set, you're going to want to apply some translucent powder to it to make sure it does not move around or peel right off, so make sure you don't skip the step and set your gelatin. So next I'm going in with some red and stippling this into the burn, and I'm blending it in with a sponge to create the look of veins. I also went in with some tweezers and my spatula, and I started picking at the burn and creating some holes. This is downright nasty, so if this freaks you out, don't worry, I was freaking myself out this entire time. It really does start looking very real and very freaky. And now I'm just going to shade in some of the holes in the gelatin, and I'm going to add some reds and some purples, and then I'm going to get started on half of my face, which is exactly done the same way that I did my neck. One sign that will really help knowing when the gelatin is starting to set is when it starts to get white. That means that it's almost set. As you can see here, the gelatin on my face is turning white. I also used a blow dryer to set this, and it sped up the drying process a lot. So now I'm taking my Skin Illustrator palette and I'm going to shade the face burn and fill the gelatin holes with some red. Using a water activated paint or an alcohol activated paint would be ideal if you're going out for Halloween, because this will not move around at all and this will stay put throughout the night, unlike a cream paint would. And now is when things really start to get nasty. You're going to want to make these holes bigger because Freddy's are very big. I just went in and pulled the gelatin and I stretched out the holes that we created. And after you've created some holes, you're going to want to fill them in using some scab blood. And this can be purchased at the Spirit of Halloween. It did not move around. It was very thick and it dried really well too. This was getting so much fun that my mom actually had to jump in and turn all SFX on me, and she actually helped me out with adding some of the scab blood into my face and also my neck. So here's where I changed out my lip color to Jeffree Star's liquid lipstick in Dirty Money, and this is the perfect green for the costume because it's very muted, and it just went really well. This is also such a beautiful, unique shade. I'm so obsessed with this color, and for the contacts, I really wanted something green, so I popped in some SFX Halloween contacts, and I knew for the hair I wanted to wear something gray like Nancy's hair in the movie, so I went with my favorite gray wig, and I really love how it just completed this entire look. I made my choker out of a pair of socks from the Spirit of Halloween, and just so you guys know, my whole costume is from there as well. So this is my final look on Glam Freddy. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and don't forget to like it if you did enjoy it, and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me, and don't forget to share this video with any friends looking for some Halloween ideas. Thank you all for watching today, and I will see you all in my next tutorial.